Hafa day, everyone. I'm Nestor Leconta with the Pacific Daily News. Here are the top stories from the PDN newsroom.
The federal government is looking into the possibility of placing turbines in the waters around Guam to generate electricity for the island using offshore winds. It's possible a contractor could be given a lease to start analyzing any suitable offshore land as early as 2028, according to a fact sheet from the Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, or BOEM. After that, any actual construction would have to be approved by the Bureau. Officials from BOEM are leading the project and were on Guam last week to meet with various representatives from other federal agencies and the government of Guam. In a conference room at the Guam Museum on Wednesday, dozens of officials from the federal and local governments were seated around a table to discuss the possibility of offshore wind energy for the island. It was the inaugural meeting of a new intergovernmental task force created at the request of Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. Officials from the Guam Power Authority, Department of Land Management, and Department of Agriculture, among others, were present. The new project is part of a mandate from the Biden administration to deploy 30 gigawatts of offshore wind energy across the U.S. by 2030, with another 15 gigawatts provided by floating wind turbines, a new technology, by 2035. In other news, postal services in Hågat, which were suspended in 2022, are close to being restored some 2 years later. The U.S. Postal Service, in a recent response letter to Delegate James Moylan, said facilities officials at the postal headquarters are in the process of executing a new ground lease to install a modular facility in Hågat, and they expect to have a final determination within the next 60 days. Moylan wrote on August 27 letter to Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, reiterating the importance of restoring the services in Hågat, as hundreds of southern residents had been advised to start picking up their mail at the Hågatnya post office. For many Manamco, the commute was challenging, particularly when picking up their medication or social security checks. The delegate's office said it will continue to monitor this process with the USPS. The Chamorro Land Trust Commission is required to lease a portion of the Yigo Raceway property to the Guam Motorsports Association or its successor entity for the operation of a raceway, related sports facilities, and various outdoor events under the newly signed fiscal 2025 budget law. Under the law, the negotiations for the terms of the lease on lot 7161-R1 in Yigo is supposed to be within 90 days of the law's enactment or by December. The budget law keeps intact Senator Dwayne Nicholas's proposal to secure the Yigo Raceway as home for the motorsports community. This allows the continued operation on lot 7161-R1 in Yigo to host races as well as various related outdoor events and support facilities, all of which have been central to the island's growing motorsports scene, St. Nicholas said in a statement. St. Nicholas's proposal was similar to a bill by Senator Amanda Shelton seeking to allow the CLTC to negotiate specifically with the Guam Motorsports Association, a licensed non-profit group that has been lobbying for legislation that would allow the raceway to be reopened. During deliberation on the 2025 budget measure, Speaker Therese Sherlahi, who authored a separate bill to lease the same 250-acre CLTC-owned Yigo land, proposed a series of amendments to the St. Nicholas Amendment, but all failed to pass. In other news, another 200-person worker barracks in Barrigada and conversion of a wholesale building in Asan-Maina to a warehouse received approval from the Guam Land Use Commission last week. Dan Swavely, who is a consultant on a number of worker barracks projects, stressed the need for housing as more and more H-2B workers arrive on Guam. Swavely told commissioners that they are expecting another 110 H-2B workers soon and are planning to petition for another 200 shortly to keep up with upcoming projects. Guam's population of 6,000 H-2B workers is anticipated to swell to about 12,000 in the coming years, Swavely told commissioners, adding that temporary workforce housing is needed to keep up with those new workers. One of the biggest real estate deals last year was for worker housing, the $8 million purchase of the old Hotel Santa Fe in Tamuning. For more on these stories, go to GuamPDN.com and follow us on social media.